Hello, let's take a look at our vocabulary for this week. So we practiced the sound. Now we're going to look at the meaning of these words. And to understand this vocabulary, we're going to practice our questions and our intonation. So we have two new questions this time. So first, our open-ended question. This means there can be many different answers to the question. And this starts with words like what, WH words, why, when, where, and how. And the same as before, this question goes down at the end. But this time, our vocabulary word will be at the end. So let's practice. We'll use the word this. For example, Rachel, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? So notice how it goes down? It doesn't go up. We go down. What is the meaning of this? Our next one is the yes or no question. And this starts with words like do or can. And this question, we just gradually go up as we ask the question. So let's practice. Rachel, do you know the meaning of this? Do you know the meaning of this? So we go up. All right, so let's look at our vocabulary words. Our first word, bird. This is an animal and it flies in the air with its wings. So maybe like a blackbird, or this could be a parrot. There's many types of birds. Our next one, burst. This is when something that's under pressure breaks. For example, a bubble. We did this word before, bubble. So it has air inside and then it pops or bursts. Also, maybe if we're chewing gum, we blow a bubble and it bursts. That's an example. Or a water balloon. So the water is really under pressure and it bursts. Our next word, clerk. This is similar to a secretary. So maybe they sit at a desk at the office and they help. Or it can be someone who helps, for example, a sales clerk. So if you go to a store to buy something, there is a sales clerk. They help you find what you need. Curl. This can be a noun or a verb. So the noun, the object, would be like in your hair. I have a curl in my hair. So it's round, a curl. The action would be to curl my hair. I need to curl my hair. The next one, curve. So this is something when it's straight and then it turns. That's a curve. So straight, curve. So it has like a round edge to it. For example, if you're driving on the road and you're straight, then you take a curve on the road. Our last one, dirt. This is something that is outside. We put our plants in the dirt, or our flowers we put in the dirt. So it's the ground outside, dirt. Okay, next page, earth. So our first one, earth. This refers to where we live. We live on planet Earth. You can also call the ground. That is also earth. Like we use the word dirt, earth can also describe the ground. Our next one, firm. This means something that is hard. So it's the opposite of soft. For example, our bed where we sleep. Maybe we like a soft bed or we like a firm bed. Our next one, fur. This describes the hair of an animal. So a dog has fur, not hair. A cat has fur, not hair. Heard. This is the past tense of the word hear. So the past tense of hear. So yesterday, I heard the music on the street. Our next one, learn. So this means when we have new information or knowledge or a new skill or experience, we learn. For example, you want to learn English. So you want to have knowledge and skill to speak English. Our last one, nurse. This is someone who helps a doctor. Maybe they work at the hospital or the office, so they help the doctor. That is a nurse. Pearl. This is something that's very tiny and round, and it's white. Maybe we have a necklace made of a pearl necklace. Our next one, purse. This is similar to a bag, but it's something that women use. So they have a purse that they put maybe their phone and their wallet and their makeup. They carry a purse. Next one, serve. This is a verb, an action. So it means to bring something to somebody else. If you go to a restaurant, there is a waiter. The waiter will serve you. He will bring you your food. Shirt. Shirt is a piece of clothing. This is a shirt. So we wear it on the top, and maybe it's real thin. That's a shirt. Sir. This is something that we call a man to show respect. So maybe a policeman, we will call him sir. Thank you, sir. The last one, turn. This is an action. So if we're driving a car, we turn right. So turn. You go a different direction. Next, work. This is something that pretty much everybody does, work. In the morning, we go to work. So this is a noun. It's where we go to do our job. That is our work. But also it's an action. I like to work. I like to do something. I like to do my job. That's the action. World. This can refer to the planet. The whole world. Earth is the world, the planet. It's round. But it can also refer to the people on the earth. For example, the coronavirus affects the whole world. So that means the people. Attorney. This is another name for a lawyer. So they help us with legal issues. Attorney, lawyer, same thing. Last one, certain. Certain. This means another word like sure. You know something is going to happen. You're positive. So I am certain that you can learn English. I know you can learn English. It will happen. All right, our next word, courage. This means that you are brave. That's a synonym, brave. So, for example, that you don't get scared. You're not afraid. So, if you have a boss and he's really mean, you have the courage to talk to him. You're not scared of him. Courage. Next one, dessert. This is something that is sweet and we eat it after lunch or dinner. So maybe ice cream, cookies, cake. These are all different types of desserts. They're sweet. Next, encourage. So encourage is something that you do. It's a verb, an action. And it's when you make someone feel happy. So if you have a friend and they're very sad and depressed. You try to encourage them. You try to say nice things to make them feel better and happy. Furniture. Furniture is different kind of things we have in our home. Maybe a table, a chair, a sofa, a bed. These are all different types of furniture. They're pieces that we have in our home to help us live. Hurricane. Hurricane. This is a storm that comes from the ocean. So it rains and it's very windy and sometimes it destroys houses. That is a hurricane. Usually every year we have hurricanes. Internal. Internal. This means inside. So it can, one definition, it can be inside our body. So our heart is an organ, or maybe our stomach. These are internal. They're inside our body. It can also be for maybe a business. If there's a company or a business, they have internal affairs or internal problems. So there's problems that are inside the company or the business with maybe the workers or employees. Journey. Journey. This is similar to the word trip. So it's somewhere that you go. Maybe you go for a walk in the woods or forest. I go on a journey. It could be something physical, or it can be something symbolic. Like if you're learning English, you are going on the journey of learning English. It's like a little trip. Nervous. This is when we're very scared to do something. If we have to give a speech and talk in front of hundreds of people, we are going to be very nervous. We're going to be scared. Observe. This is similar to the word watch, but it means to watch or look at very carefully. For example, maybe a scientist observes animals. He watches them carefully so he can learn something from them. So our next word, we have two pronunciations. The first one is the adjective or noun perfect. Perfect. So you look perfect today. So everything looks great. Nothing is wrong. Our verb, perfect. So that means to make better, to get better, to make it really, really good. So I want to perfect my English. I want to make it great. Personal. One definition is when you refer to yourself. This is my personal opinion. This is what I think. This is my personal opinion. Also, it can be used for describing something for one person. I want a personal pizza. So the pizza is for one person. Personal pizza. Purpose. Another word for this is a reason. It's why something is happening, why you're doing something. So what is the purpose of this class? The purpose of this class is to learn the meaning of the vocabulary words. So it's the reason why we are doing the class. Purpose. Service. This is when you do something for someone else, maybe to help them or because it's your job or work. We also can provide a service. Electricity is a service. It comes to our house and it helps us. The man provides a plumbing service. He comes and he will help you fix your plumbing. Thirsty, thirsty. So this is when we really want something to drink. We're real dry. We need to drink water. We are thirsty. Our next one has two pronunciations. So the first one is research. This is the adjective or noun. So this can describe like Google we use for research. It's a research tool. Google or an encyclopedia is a research tool. That means you can look for information and find information. Our verb is when you do it, when you are looking for information. I have to research how to pronounce this word. I have to research the meaning of the word thirsty. So you're looking for information. Answer. This is when we ask a question. If we ask a question, what we receive after is the answer. It's information that we're looking for. Author. This is someone who writes a book or a novel. They are the author. They wrote the information. Better. This means to improve. So if something is okay, we want it to get better. We want it to improve. For example, you want your English to get better, to improve. Border. One definition is when it comes to countries. So in Costa Rica, it has a border. For example, with Panama, that is its border. So it's where it ends. Costa Rica finishes, Panama starts. Butter. This is something we eat. We put it on bread and it tastes delicious. So we put butter on the bread. Cellar. This is another name for a basement. So it's underground. We have our house and the basement is under the ground. That's also the cellar. Sometimes they use this word for where they store or keep wine, a wine cellar. So it's cold and usually underground. Cellar. Center. Center is the middle of something. For example, this is the center of my phone. It's the middle, in the middle, the center. Clever. This is another word for being very smart and intelligent. So maybe a parent wants his child to be very clever. So maybe not just information, but they know how to use the information properly. Collar. This is a collar. It goes around our neck, a collar. Also for a dog or a cat, they have a collar around their neck. Dinner. This is the meal that we eat at nighttime in the evening. Also, you can say supper, dinner, supper. So it describes the meal that we have at night. Doctor. This is a person at the hospital. He takes care of us, he makes us feel better, and he usually has a white coat. That's a doctor. Eager. This describes how we feel when we're very excited to do something. If we're going on vacation, we are eager to go on vacation. We really want to go. Editor. This is someone describing a person that will fix or read and fix mistakes. For example, a newspaper. A newspaper has an editor. Everybody writes their stories or articles, but the editor makes sure everything is okay before the newspaper is printed. Error. Error is a mistake, something that's not correct. So maybe a student at school, they write a paper and it has many errors. They did not do good, many mistakes. It's not correct. Favor. This is something that you do for someone else. It's nice. So you ask the question, can you do me a favor? So can you help me with something, please? Figure. One definition can refer to numbers. For example, at a business, can you give me the figures for this month? So that means the numbers, maybe money, the money spent, the money that came in. Also, it can refer to a shape. If you see something, that looks like a square figure. So another word for shape, maybe describing the figure of a person. Future. This is something that's going to happen. So our next month is in the future. We have past, present, and future. Gather, gather. This means to bring things together in one place. So I have to gather all the information to make a decision. So you have to get different ideas and information to one place so you can really consider and think about it. So collect, that's a synonym. Hammer. This is a tool that we use. For example, you have to hammer a nail. So there's a nail in the piece of wood and you have to hammer. So it can be the action or it can be the tool. So a noun and a verb. Bakery. This is a place where they bake. And baking is when you put something in the oven, like a cake or bread or cupcakes and cookies. That's what they sell at a bakery. It's a store. Comfort. This is one definition is something we do for someone else. If someone is very sad, maybe they're crying, we want to comfort them. We want to make them feel better and help them to stop crying. Coward. This is someone who's very scared and they get intimidated. They get scared very easily. They're not brave. So maybe a man is a coward when something bad happens. He's scared and maybe even cries. That would be a coward. Eastern. This is an adjective to describe a direction. So I live on the eastern side of the United States. So to the side that's on the east. Effort. This is describing when it takes a lot of time and power and thinking to accomplish something. So, for example, it takes a lot of effort to climb a mountain. So, lots of time, lots of power and strength. It takes a lot of effort to climb a mountain. Also, it takes a lot of effort to learn English. So, time, thinking, money takes many things to accomplish. Energy. This is another word for power. We can also use it to describe effort. For example, a little child, a little kid has lots of energy. They want to play. They don't get tired. They have a lot of power. Forward. This is a direction, describing a direction. So if I go back, I go backward. If I go front, forward. So it's describing a direction, an adjective. Lizard. This is an animal. It's a type of reptile, and sometimes it's tiny, sometimes it's very big. It has a long tail. Usually they're green. It's a type of reptile. Memory. This is what we use to remember. So in our brain is our memory. I have a good memory. I remember everything. I have a bad memory. I don't remember everything. Modern. Modern describes something that is new, not old. So maybe, for example, a house. I want to live in a modern house. So it means it's new, but also has a very new style. It doesn't look very old. Natural. Natural means that it's something that comes from nature. So it's an adjective. So for example, I like to use natural products for my skin. So things that come from nature. They're not made by man and they're not fake or chemicals. Operate. This means to control or even drive something. So do you know how to operate the machine? So do you know how to use it? Do you know how to use the right buttons, the right levers? So you know how to correctly use the machine, operate the machine. Pattern. One definition is similar to the word design. So for example, our clothing can have different patterns. It can have dots, it can have stripes, it can be plaid, or it can have squares. So when there's the same design, that's a pattern. Percent. This is a number describing how much of something. So 100%, that's everything. 50%, that's half, the middle. Mother. This is the real, more formal name for mom. Mother. So mother, father, mom, dad. Upward. Upward is a direction to go up. So it's describing the direction that something is going. For example, the airplane is going upward. Brother. This is the opposite of sister. So I have 2 brothers. I have 2 sisters. We're going to get to that word. So brother is the boy. The boy. Western. Western is describing also a direction. I live on the western side of the United States. So it means to the west. Western. Sister is the girl. So brother, boy, sister, girl. So it means your siblings, your brothers and sisters. Yogurt. This is something maybe we eat for breakfast. We can have white yogurt, plain, or it's with fruit, and it's made from milk. It's a little bit thick. Yogurt. Awesome job. We made it to the end. Congratulations. I hope this was helpful for you to learn these vocabulary words. Keep practicing. See you next time.